friends, welcome back. We are doing lesson 13 for phonics, so let's get busy. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me get rid of the bar like normal and put it in present mode. All right, so Unit 4, Lesson 13. Our learning targets today, I can identify sentences that are in the past, present, and future tenses. I can read and write words with the past tense marker, ED, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, Big Cats. Ooh, I can't wait. So grammar, past, present, and future. Tell me some things that happened to you yesterday at school. What happened yesterday at school? I played outside. I got to read a book. Okay, so things that happened yesterday have already happened, are in the past, right? Yes. Okay, tell me some things that are happening today, right now. Well, I know today I went outside to take my dog out. I ate breakfast. I got dressed. I made my bed. So those are things that are happening right now that are in the present. Okay, past, present, and future. Tell me some things that might happen tomorrow at school. Oh, I will get to have ice cream tomorrow. And we will have gym. Okay, so things that will happen or may happen either tomorrow or later are in the future. So things that may happen will happen in the future. So every sentence has a verb. A verb, remember, is the part of the sentence that tells us what is happening now, what has already happened, or what will happen in the future. So verb tenses, when we change the time that a sentence describes, we are changing the tense of the verb and the sentence as a whole. You can change a sentence from present tense to past or future just by changing the verb. So verb tense, present. Today we learn about verbs. Past tense. Yesterday we learned about verbs. Notice we changed today to yesterday and learned to learned. We added the ED onto it. Future tense. Tomorrow we will learn about verbs. So we added will in front of learn and we changed yesterday to tomorrow. So let's practice changing sentences into different tenses. So present tense, today I munch on corn on the cob. Past tense, tomorrow yesterday I munched on corn on the cob. Let's see. Yesterday I munched on corn on the cob. Notice munch, added that ED onto it to make it past tense. Future, tomorrow I will munch on corn on the cob. Tomorrow I will munch on corn on the cob. Notice I added that special word will because it's future tense to my verb, will munch. Present tense, today I bang on a drum. Notice the verb bang. Yesterday I banged on a drum. I changed today to yesterday and I had to add ED to bang. So my future will say tomorrow I will bang on a drum. Tomorrow I will bang on a drum. I had to add that special word will in front of the verb bang. So notice our verb tenses here for jump. Today I jump like a grasshopper. That's present tense. Past tense, yesterday I jumped like a grasshopper. Notice jump changed to jumped. Future tense, tomorrow I will jump like a grasshopper. So it changed jump to will jump. So let's look at worksheet 13.1. All right, so 13.1. So I'm going to have to shift it a little bit so I can read it to you, the instructions. Directions. Have students underline the past tense marker ed in each verb. Okay, so you have to underline the ed in each verb. That's the first thing you have to do. Secondly, have students write the past tense verbs that end in ed under the ed header. The verbs that end in d under the d header, and the verbs that end in t under the t header. Okay, so for example, they've done the first three for you: started, grinned, and helped. Look at started. It ends with ed, right? Grinned has the d. And then helped sounds like it's got a T at the end of it. Okay, so you'll have to say the word and write it where it belongs. So like your next word, sounded. It's got the ed to it, so it's going to go under ed. What about formed? Under just the D, right? And what about parked? That's going to go under the T. Okay, so that leaves you with 6 words to put on those lines. All right, so I'm going to let you do the other 6. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring that up and let's go back to our slides. Okay, so past tense marker. The past tense marker, ed, makes 3 different sounds. Makes the ed sound, duh sound, and the t sound. So past tense marker, ed, started, sounded, pointed, lifted. You hear the ed. Okay, for the D sound, grinned, formed, smiled, waved. Now, the t sound, helped, parked, baked, hiked. Do you hear the difference in all of them? Yes. All right. Since the word smile ends with an E, we do not need to add another E to change it to the past tense. If we did, it would look like the EE spelling for the E sound. Smiley, smileyed. Just add a D to make it in the past tense. So notice the E is there. All we did was add the D, smiled. And the same thing with bake. Bake ends with an E, so we don't need to add another E. We just add a D to the end of it to make it baked for past tense. So let's read about big cats. So let me escape and let's get this bar off my thing here and let's go to our story. Actually, before we go to our story, I think we do. It says turn to the table of contents and find the story that comes after things with wings. Well, guess what? That's big cats. This story, what do you think we're going to be reading about? What kind of animals? Big cats, like tigers, maybe, lions, leopards, panthers. Okay, so what type of big cats are kept in a zoo? Well, we see lions and we see tigers, right? Okay. Well, these are some spellings that you're going to see in this story today. The E, as in see, keep, feed, deer, sheep, tree, and teeth. We've got the like in hunters, Robert, bigger, panther, fern, sister, scamper. What about the or? Sort, or, for, and short. Our tricky words, do, your, to, and some. All right, so let's look at some vocabulary. We've got bobcat. Ooh, it's a type of big cat. Panther, it's a big cat also. Tan, it's like a skin color. Scamper means to run. All right, so now let's go to our story. All right, big cats. Do you like cats? If you do, look, they're in the grass. Do you see the cat? That is not the sort of cat that you keep in your home and feed cat food. That is a bobcat. Bobcats are good hunters. They hunt rabbits, rats, and sometimes deer and sheep. That's Bobcat's name is Robert, or Bob for short. Get it? Bobcat, Bob. And there's Bob now. And he eats rabbits and rats. If you look up on that rock, you will see a cat that's bigger than a bobcat. It's a panther. Panthers can have spots. They can be tan too. Here at the Green Fern Zoo, we have 2 black panthers. The name of this one is Jet. There's Jet. He's a pretty cat, isn't he? That's Jet's sister, Flash, up on the tree branch. Flash has strong legs that help her run fast. She has sharp teeth and sharp claws that also help her hunt rabbits and deer. She can use her claws to scamper up a tree if she needs to. You can see that she is not all black like Jet. She has some spots. So there's Flash and Jet, are brother and sister. Okay, so let's go back to our slides. So let's ask some questions. How is a bobcat different from a cat that lives in homes? Well, it's a little bit bigger and it doesn't eat cat food, does it? It eats rats and rabbits. Yeah. Okay, which is bigger, the bobcat or the panther? Panther is much bigger. What are the names of the 2 panthers at the Green Fern Zoo? Jet and Flash. Why might a panther need to scamper up a tree? Maybe if something was chasing it, something that was bigger, possibly. Or maybe it was going up the tree to see if it can hunt food that way, see food out in the distance. All right. So let's look at 13.2. All right, so 13.2. This is the take-home sheet here, all right? And it says we've been circling nouns and sentences and underlining verbs. So that's what you're going to review on this one. But there may be more than one noun in a sentence. And if you notice, there's parentheses at the end of the sentence that's just got a number in it. That number tells you how many nouns, or excuse me, yeah, how many nouns are in that sentence. So make sure you circle that many nouns in that sentence, all right? And make sure you underline the verb. Okay, so look at number 1. The cat naps in the yard. Notice there's a 2 there, and they've circled cat and yard because they're the nouns, and they underline naps because that is the verb. Look at number 2. The cook made a cake. So there's a 2 at the end, so there's 2 nouns. That would be cook and cake. So you'd circle those 2. And what's your verb? Made. Good. Okay. So if we go on down to the next sheet, you are going to match the contractions, the 2 words that make up the contraction. So you will do that one also, along with that first one. Okay. All right. So back to my slide. Present mode. All right, so our learning targets today, I can identify sentences that are in the past, present, and future tense. I can read and write words with the past tense marker, ED, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, Big Cats. Awesome. All right, guys, that is the end of our lesson today. I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye, guys. Have an awesome day.